My name is Professor Baldy, and I run a school for juvenile delinquents. But not just any delinquents. Mine are specially gifted. You might even call them mutants. Trust a few reformed ex-cons. Tangerine.
Am I the apple of your eye, Bubba?
Jeannie Gray. Beastie Boy.
Everybody dance now.
Snow Cone.
Is it hot in here, or is it just me?
And their friends from X-FARCE. Cable TV.
Eat remote control, frog face.
Garfarel. Meow. Dominoes.
This book has just the right amount of cheese.
And introducing the Newt Mutants. Beware the rest. Magneto. Mistress Piggy. And not at all breaking the fourth wall. Cesspool. Now, Parody Press Comics is back with X-FARCE Reloaded #1. Don't miss this extraordinary comics extravaganza with 7 full color stories of marvelous mutant mayhem. Back this book today for awesome variant covers and original artwork tiers. 48 pages of action and hilarious hijinks by some of comics' funniest talents. Parody Press, making the world laugh again. Only on Indiegogo.
I have successfully privatized world peace.
Crazies are getting smarter. I'm not alone anymore.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? This is your friendly host, Don Chin. Thought I'd mix it up and play a little 80s rock music. I actually did that montage video right about when Iron Man 2 came out. I really liked the song Turn Up the Radio, and I thought the trailer and kind of mixing it up and editing it would be a fun project. So I spent like a day to do that, and it was I think it came out pretty good. It's a little low res compared to what we can do today, but it's a fun video. So we have a packed show this morning. I'm really excited. We have a few guests in the green room that are going to show us their projects, their comic book projects. And then after they're done, I have a mail call. I've got some cool stuff in the mail in the last couple weeks, and I wanted to share it with you guys and maybe give you a little bit of an update on the latest campaigns that we're doing here at Parody Press. So anyways, good morning. This is Dawn. This is my official X-FARCE Reloaded coffee mug. And if you like that, you can still pick it up at xfarce.com. They're $19 plus shipping. They keep your coffee nice and warm, or your cold drink nice and cold. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Scott and John today, and Scott's going to go first. Scott is the creator of The Flock, and then John is going to tell us about Black Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and there's possibility that his co-creator Rod will be joining us. So anyways, let me go ahead and bring him in. Hey, Scott.
Hey.
Can you hear
morning.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did I catch you off guard?
Everybody. No, I was fixing my mic. I have to get a new stand for it. For some reason, it's bent a little bit. I'm noticing. I'm like, oh, that might fall over.
No worries. Are you in?
Yeah.
Are you an Indians fan? I can see your
I'm from Cleveland. Yes. Yeah. Well,
okay.
I grew up in the Cleveland area, Northeast Ohio. So I've been following the Indians. My dad's dad, and all the way back to the start. But yeah, I'm
awesome
an Indians fan. This is an old hat. You're not going to see this much longer.
Yeah, Chief Wahoo.
Chief Wahoo's gone. So
that's too bad.
Basically, it's going to be rebranded as well.
Yeah,
I did too. I like that. It's pretty cool. It's iconic because everyone knows the Indians.
Everybody knows that, and anyone that's watched Major League, right? With Wild
I know,
and...
wonderful movie. Out of those movies, though, the first one was the best.
Yeah. Usually the sequels don't live up to the as good as the first ones, and I thought that was a good one.
Sequel. The reason the sequel was pretty out there was because it wasn't rated R, so they had to
that's true.
Do the humor without it being rated R.
That'd be like Police Academy rated PG, or Porky's 2 rated PG. So hey man, I've had you on my show before. You are no newbie to my show, and about a month ago maybe I had you on with the Flock, and you were on Kickstarter. And exactly. So I guess it didn't quite make the funding there, but then you moved it to Indiegogo, and so now you seems like you're doing a lot better on that platform.
Yeah, so I think we ended the Kickstarter with like 57 backers, which was great, more than I thought would happen. But I think the main cause of the failure, in my opinion, was my pricing. I didn't think I was charging enough for the quality of work that I'm producing. Okay. And I had to readdress that and make adjustments on this Indiegogo. And so far, it's been going pretty well. We're at 72% in the campaign.
Nice.
So it's going pretty good. We got about, I want to say, majority of the Kickstarter backers came on over to the Indiegogo. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been going.
I'm going to back it this morning.
Right,
I plan to back it live on the air so we can get you some more revenue. But let me bring John in here. He's been waiting patiently in the green room.
No problem.
Hey John, how are you, bro?
Hey, how are you guys doing? Hey Don, good to see you again. Good. Scott, what's going on?
Good morning. Have you met Scott before?
No. It's my first time.
Awesome.
No.
Scott's telling you, the community is so big. I'm looking forward to seeing
there's so many people.
Project. I haven't seen this project.
Oh, good. Good. And then
tremendous.
maybe Scott's not familiar with Black Tiger either. So this will be really informative for all of us today.
Yeah.
All right. So is Rod able to join us, or you're not sure, John?
I'm not too sure. I mean, they have a newborn, so that's always a wild card.
Okay. No worries. We can go ahead and proceed. So the plan this morning, ladies and gentlemen, is Scott's going to go first and tell us about the flock. Do you want to share your screen, Scott? I mean, I already did mine, but if you want to control the scrolling, Scott, I'm happy to let you do it, or you can just let me do it and you can explain. So whatever you're comfortable with.
I probably do better if you control it, if you don't mind, because I can could speak my mind and as we're going.
No problem.
So
yeah. Go ahead and give us your little pitch on this.
So the Flock series is a Golden Age inspired comic book full of action, as it says on the top there. When I created the project, I wanted to start a story, of course, inspired in that era of comics, storytelling in that era of comics. So nothing's taken seriously, as of course, it's comics. It's for fun. It's for enjoyment of the medium. Targeted towards everybody's, because this book is an all ages book. I wanted someone like my nephew to enjoy the book. I wanted someone to get into comics, because nowadays there's not many comics that are made for the younger audience to get introduced and to actually read and get into the story without it being adult themed.
Yes,
so I really wanted to bring this up. And it's my main character is called the Goose Man, and he's Canadian, and our first villain is called the Purple Hood Gang, and they're just a gang of thugs that sprouted out of nowhere. Of course, that always happens, and he's got to go and stop them because they are stealing maple syrup, which is based on a true story of a maple syrup heist that happened in Canada that cost Canada $60 million.
I heard about that. Yeah.
But imagine this being in the 50s.
It's worth a lot, like per gallon, right?
Oh yeah, it's like gas. It's like gasoline up there.
Scott, tell me how old. Just may I ask how old are you?
I'm 28.
28. Okay, so what drew you into comics as a young reader? Were you inspired by a certain characters or team book, or because Golden Age, a lot of people your age aren't really, I wouldn't think would know that much about kind of the retro, but obviously you do.
It's a crazy. So for me, I was never really. I mean, I loved all when I was younger. I loved Batman. I loved Superman. I love Wolverine. All the ones that are pretty dominant. When I was younger,
right?
But I think for me, what stuck out was the storytelling of Will Eisner, the Spirit, the Rocketeer. It felt different. I liked it when for instance, my story takes place in the 50s. There's no cell phones, and there's no, today's social media. It's like a totally different world that people don't realize existed.
Right.
So I wanted that feel. And when I read comics from say the 80s that I got in a dollar bin or something, or even in the 90s I got in a dollar bin, it was just such a different world because those comics were being told in the world that they're in currently, what it is now. We're talking about, cell phones and all, and cars and electric cars and all this futuristic stuff. But back then it was a guy had to go to a phone booth to change into his comics suit. So it's so bizarre feeling that's how the world was. And it's such a unique time in history when everything just felt so, it was stressful, but it wasn't as stressful as today with everything going on. You get so many bombardment of mediums of different objects and different technology. And it was just felt like a simpler time.
Right.
But that always drives to me. It always gets my interest peaked when it comes to that era.
Yeah, I think you hit a point there that technology, as cool as we like it, it does kind of bombard us with media and the cell phone. I grew up in the 60s and we only had like a landline and there were only 3 TV channels, and now you got 24/7 news and just Twitter and all that stuff. But it would have been interesting to live back in those days. I think it probably was a better quality of life in a lot of ways, but
well, I would say it wasn't just a better quality of life. It was a lot simpler, as in like you didn't have to do like social media, of course, but like it was more close circles. Like you had more people like close. I don't know. It's just a weird era of thinking. And I always enjoy reading about it and doing like research on my own. Like, for instance, my artist, Gino, we had to go back and forth and make sure when he's drawing different items and different things in the sequentials, he's got to make sure it's for that era.
All right.
He's got to make sure the cars match. He's got to make sure like the buildings, that building doesn't even exist in that era.
Right.
But I mean, we play around with it. Of course, we got a purple airship.
Yeah. Cool, man.
And
so let me see here. So your featured tier, what do you get for? Should we play your trailer? Maybe you want us to?
Yeah, you could play the trailer, but before I play a trailer, the featured tier that I have is called the Gooseman package, and you get 3 comic books and a poster with free USA shipping. So. This is kind of like the big one that everyone's been grabbing at the moment. Okay. But yeah, if you live in the US, it's free shipping. Elsewhere, it's about, I believe in Canada, it's about, I think $8 or something. I'm pretty low on the shipping cost.
Yeah.
But internationally, I think it's a lot more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been doing some international for the X-FARCE fulfillment, and it runs between 25 to 30 for like a Gemini mailer to ship over there. But that's a good price. How many pages are your issues on average?
24.
24. Okay. And so you've got a cool, I'm going to get this perk today, but I wanted to tell people that you can also read your issue in black and white, right? For free. So
yes,
if you go
on
to
the Global Comics website. Yeah. You can click on that and it'll take you to a link to the place to read it. So yeah, you can read the first issue black and white.
That's
and
awesome.
Then it's the at the very end there's like different characterization. It's also in the campaign, but different backgrounds of the characters, so you can get more information if you want to. Global Comics website is pretty cool. I recommend it to anyone who's looking to read comics. A lot of creators are on there. They have a lot of cool different books.
Wow, that's awesome, buddy.
But yeah, I recommend it to anyone. So you can read it for free on the first issue, but then of course, if you back the campaign, it will be in color.
Right. When did you first come up with this character?
The Gooseman, I created him last year in about probably around the same time as right now. I created the character. Actually, that I'm thinking now it's 2021. Damn, 2019. 2 years ago.
Now you're getting old.
2020 went by so quick, and it was just a blur.
You're aging in front of our eyes, man.
It's all right, man. John and I, we're old.
Dude, seriously, we're relics compared to you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, comparing, like, a friend told me, like, after I turned 25, the years just go by and you don't even remember what the last year was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like that right now. But yeah.
My wife and I were what were we doing last night? I left my coffee out. Like I like to have decaf at night, and I left it in our bedroom for some reason, and I was planning on taking it out to the sink, and I just forgot where I put it. And I asked my wife, and she goes, "I thought you just had it in your hand." I go, "No, I don't know where I left it." And, and I said, you know, we're getting old. We, you know, our memories are going. And she goes, "What memory?" She's funny. Anyways,
yeah, pretty much.
That's funny.
I also wanted to say thank you to my wife for giving me a nice COVID haircut. She does my. I was looking like a shaggy caveman last week, and she.
I got to get my haircut myself. I got to make an appointment here. But we have
the Flowbee, you know, that the thing that used to be on Wayne's World. It works pretty good.
Nice.
Anyway, Scott, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. This is a great looking book. Is this your first potential all color project?
Yes. I have other projects I would like to do in the future, but this is the one I'm kind of like as my first experience, my first trying to get it funded with I'm creating a product for consumers and customers the like. But yeah, we got a lot of cool things on this campaign. We got 4 variant covers. We've got
this is nice.
We've
I like
got
this
merch.
one a lot.
We've got the hoodie. We got t-shirts.
Nice.
We've got
good merch.
Digital commission. So we've got a lot of cool stuff on the campaign.
You do.
Yeah, I see this crossover with Niobe.
Niobe, yeah.
So
and that actually crossover was done by Nicholas Mueller, who has Demon Hunter Raven, and we kind of did like a conversation between the 3 of us, got together and like, let's do a cover swap of Danger Girl cover by Scott Campbell. And
yeah.
And so we did that, and so it's Niobe, Gooseman, and Violet, each from each of our books in our campaigns and whatnot. So.
Does the Gooseman, does he have like wrist guns? Is that what he's firing? Or
yeah, he is. He's firing wrist guns, or darts, or whatever you want to call them. But I don't know what era and what time zone this is, but it's somewhere where he's got some type of updated technology from the 50s group or 50s utility belt that he has. So
yeah, cool. Did you were you inspired for the jetpack by like like maybe Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon or the Rocketeer or something like that? Or
it was like, I love Rocketeer and I love Will Eisner's The Spirit, and I kind of like combined them when I created the character, and I also used a little bit of people in my own life for creating the Huck character. And then the other characters as well are inspired by other people in my life, because you got to write what you know.
Right. Awesome. So this guy that drew the one that we have on the screen right now, what's his background? Because he looks like he's kind of got a cool, like a animation style.
So he to me it looks like a Bruce Timm and Darwin
there you
Cook
go
kind of mix.
Right.
Like it's like it's got like a mix there. I actually found him through Larry from Niobe. She did a cover for Larry, and I reached out to him, and Joel Souza has his art information on his Twitter and his Facebook page, and it shows all his rates and everything. And I reached out to him. It was funny because Larry always jokes like, man, I should have gotten 10% because, 6 or 7 or 8 creators have reached out to him since he's posted his commission. And started, so he's like, oh, man, I should have got 10% of that. But anyway, Joel's great. And his turnaround is phenomenal. I think he did this in 3 days. And I was really pleased with it. And he's also very, he'll sketch it out and make sure it's 100% what you want before he proceeds. So he did a really good job. So I recommend him to anyone. Check him out on Twitter if you're looking for a cover or just commission. He does a great job.
Is this a digital piece or did he do it like traditional?
Yes. It's digital, so it's not going to hurt your bank, is what I'm going to say, because it's digital.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
So let me go back to your campaign page. I'm going to go ahead and get the featured tier. So I'm going to get all 3 issues and then a poster. What will the poster image be?
The poster image is so the first original cover of the book was done by a different artist, but I wanted Gino to have his crack at it, so he did a cover swap of that original cover with his cover, which I believe if you scroll down to the when it says perks, I think it's in there. I'll make it bigger later on. I just realized it wasn't down there, but
down here.
It's that poster right here where it says free under the free shipping. He did his version of the original issue 1 cover. It's really small. I should have made that a little bit larger. I'll fix that later. But yeah, it's gonna be that poster.
So it's the one that's on the Global Comics. I'm sorry, that's not that's this cover, the one that we looked at, the one on the very left. So then this image right here, the one on the very right, is what the poster will be. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's correct. So that's Gino's version of that first cover. He wanted a crack at it, and I said, "Let's do it."
Okay, cool.
And he did a great job.
So have you printed any of these books yet, or are they all yet to be printed? Do you have?
I have printed. So I've only printed issues 1 and 2. Issues 1 and 2, I before I did crowdfunding and anything, I was selling in comic book shops in my local area, and I was able to get around Cleveland, Ohio, about 5 locations, and they were just black and white, not in color, and they were just the very first print. So it was funny seeing issue 1 and 2 have progressed and changed, because they've like the lettering, I had to make adjustments on lettering because it's the first time I'm using this printer and this printing company. So I wanted to make sure the lettering has been updated. So it has, and that happens with mostly every creator. Your first print run is like you're testing on how like the lettering, making sure people can read it and whatnot. So it was really cool going into issue 2, going to printing. I'm like, okay, that's been changed. And then now I'm doing issue 3. Okay, this is going to be changed.
Yeah, well, you're learning. It takes a while. I mean, it's a hard a comic book doing it it takes a lot more time than people think, especially if you're kind of a one-man show. But John and I have been doing this for a while, and I think as we get older, the quality gets better, but I think it also takes longer.
I agree.
Than we used to. I used to, like, back in the 90s, my wife and I when we were doing Parody Press and NTD Comics, we would do like 4 to 6 books a month. We just kind of had this assembly line of artists and stuff. And now getting back into it, X-FARCE took us almost like a year to do a 48-page book, and it just it just came out. I'm really happy with it, but I think we have a lot, as we get older, we have a lot more attention to detail. Would you say, John?
Oh, yeah. No, I agree wholeheartedly, and I think hopefully the page quality is getting better, but being able to churn out 22 or 24 pages in a month, that's not happening. right, yeah. Especially when you have a day job, when this isn't your only gig. But Scott, I just backed it, so let me go ahead and refresh your That's awesome.
Screen here and see what happens. Yeah, you're over 1,100 now. So
thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, my friend. Well, I backed you on Kickstarter, but when I was disappointed that we didn't quite get you there. But I think you're on your way. I saw you on. You've been really making the rounds on different shows. I saw RJ did a cool little animation promo for you last night on funny. Critical Blast. Hey, have you been on Pete Cimetti's open mic show on Mondays?
I'm trying to. The problem is Mondays is the worst day for me for work wise, because I don't get out of work till so late, and then by the time I get home, sometimes he's done.
Gotcha.
I've been trying so hard to switch with people and try, but Mondays is like one of the hardest days for me. I wish people would do more on the weekends.
Yeah. Well, I'll
Wednesday's
try to
my only day off, so
I'll try to send you some links of people that might be open to promoting you, because awesome. Adam when I first got into this with with X-FARCE last year. Adam Post and I, we go back to the 90s, and he said, here's a list of people that will, you can reach out to help promote your book. And, I'd say about 40% of them were doing things, and they actually got our campaign out. But why don't I go ahead and end with playing your trailer, and then I'll ask, where people can get a hold of you and back the campaign. And then we'll look at John's campaign, and you're welcome to stick around if you like, or you have to go. That's totally cool too. So
I'll stick around. No worries.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play your trailer, my friend. Can you guys hear that all right?
Yeah.
Cool, buddy. Sorry, I was trying to do a little banner across the bottom for you.
Fine.
You guys want to watch a yoga video for back pain?
I just saw that. I was like, back pain.
I'm telling you.
Thankfully, YouTube keeps the history of what I watch, and oftentimes I do yoga for real, but other people might think I have other purposes in. Anyways, let me go back out to our main screen here. Scott, I'm really happy for you that you found a new new life on Indiegogo. I think you're going to be funded. You're only 5 days into your campaign.
Oh my goodness,
so you're there, you're getting there. Do you want to say anything in closing, or how people, tell people how they can reach you?
So, of course, you can reach me on Twitter and Facebook at the Flock Comic. Both are the same, so it's at the Flock Comic. We hit our first stretch goal, which was 25 backers. So because of that stretch goal, all physical backers will be receiving a postcard from me, and it's going to be a personal kind of thank you note for backing the campaign. It's kind of like something to be sent up while you're waiting for the book. In the meantime, those will be sent out next week, and the postcards are of the heroes of the campaign. So you got the Goose Man, which is our main hero. We got the Gosling, which is his nephew, and then we got his best friend Jackie Oakes, which is kind of like his muscle guy who needs when he's in a tough situation and needs some help.
Nice.
So those are going to be sent out. So anyone who backed physically will get the postcards sent in the mail. Kind of like in the meantime type of thing. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. Our next stretch goal is at 50. So we're getting close. We're at 27,
Nice.
but 23 more and we're almost there. So, but we got 25 days left. We're at 74%. So it's just incredible. And I thank everyone who's back so far. And I thank you for having me on the show. And if you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to me on Twitter and Facebook. Twitter is probably the best because my DMs are open. And if you have any questions about the campaign, or if you're an artist as well, because I'm in the future, I might need an artist for variant covers, so or a colorist and stuff. So
Nice.
if you know how to do any of that, let me know, reach out to me, and I'll try and see if I can work with you in the future. So, but yeah, thank you for having me on. I appreciate
Thanks, Scott.
it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, your mic sounds really good.
Thanks.
Hey, what do you, just curious, what do you do? What's your 9 to 5 job? I mean, I do real estate 9 to 5. What do you do in your, what's your day job?
I'm a manager of a grocery store. So I'm constantly busy.
Yeah.
since COVID started, it's been nonstop, and I'm trying to go into a different field. I'm looking to maybe possibly go back to school later this year, but right now, yeah, I'm constantly. It's always every day, and the hours they're not the greatest. And so when I'm working on this stuff, I'm usually working at it late at night, all the way till like late evening,
Right.
and then going to work early in the morning. But yeah, it's just what you got to do as a creator. You got to be able to, if you're not, of course, trying to fund your campaign, but also funding yourself and funding staying alive, paying the bills.
I miss the days when we could, when I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s, you could go to a grocery store or your corner market and there would be a spinner rack of comics. And I used to pick up all the Marvel and DC stuff every week, or Circle K was another place on my way to school I would get. But now, you go to grocery stores and you never see comics anymore. And I think what you're doing by bringing an introductory level comic, that's how I got hooked by HERVEY comics and just your newsstand stuff back when I was a kid. And that's what we need to keep this art form alive, because if we just cater to adults, that's fine and well, but who's going to be the next generation that's going to appreciate this? And all ages, I'm a total supporter of that. And I think what you're doing is great, and hopefully your nephew digs it. How old is your nephew again?
Yeah, he's 9. And he's turning 10 this year. So
nice. That's cool. I'm trying to get my grandkids.
He keeps bragging. He's like, he always keeps bragging. I'm turning 10 this year. Every time I see him, he's like, I'm turning 10. I'm turning 10. Every time I see him.
It's happening.
Yeah. You can keep bragging about the decades, but then when you hit 30, you don't want anybody to know. 40 and 50. So, hey, Scott, thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to go ahead and hand the main screen over to Mr. John HERVEY. No John, good to see you, my friend.
Hey, it's good to see you too. Appreciate you having me on again.
You're welcome. I saw a package coming from a lady named HERVEY, and I'm thinking that must be maybe my MAGNA shipment is on its way.
Yes, that would be my better half, and she has gotten out. So everyone that got individual domestically, that got either just the book or the book and beanie. She just got the book and beanies out today, but yesterday she got everyone domestic that got the books. She got them out yesterday, so you should have received. You probably got. These are the 3 options to choose from. So we are in the process of fulfilling MAGNA, which is nice. That's, as the fulfillment portion is kind of at the end of the day, you want to get the books in people's hands.
Right. How many orders do you guys have to fill?
So she sent 135 packages yesterday.
Wow.
And then she sent a much smaller amount of packages today, because there are probably a dozen or less folks that have the beanie. Okay. So the book and the beanie went out today. And then some folks are international. So the next thing is, taking care of the folks that are international.
I like your beanie, man. That's sweet.
Yeah, the MAGNA beanie.
It's like gold. Is it like kind of embroidered on the?
It is
on the hoodie.
It is.
That's sweet. How much are those? Like 20?
Yes.
$20. Nice.
Yes. So
only limited quantity.
There are about 7 left.
7 left. Okay.
Yeah. So we didn't make a whole bunch, but I just wanted to, I wanted to make sure I didn't end up with a whole bunch of beanies I was giving away for Christmas or something.
Sure. All right. Well, hey, buddy, let's, congratulations on MAGNA fulfilling, and it's in demand, right? So people. It
is in demand. So we do still have some books left. We did some amount of overage in terms of printing.
Wow, those are pretty. I like the.
You know what?
Nice, glossy.
It worked out really well. I mean, we're all, I think all of us as a community, we're getting a little bit better at this as we keep going. So, just trying to educate ourselves and learn from other people that are doing this. So I'm excited. when people get this book, they're getting 76 pages of comic. So
Right.
you'll get a robust story for that. And with Black Tiger, there's 75 pages of story plus some other art. So you're going to get over 80 something pages.
That's a good value, man.
In that book. So, and it's just a different world. We're all figuring it out.
Yeah.
Well, it's like in terms of periodicity, I can't get the books out like, and none of us can, like a comic shop does. So I'm just trying to make sure, hey, well, just make sure that I'm giving you enough to run with, and hopefully intriguing you enough that you want to come back. But you know what?
Gotcha.
I understand every model for doing this. I understand doing individual issues. It's just not easy. Anyone that hasn't published or produced a book, guaranteed there's more to it than you think. Just guaranteed.
Yeah, definitely.
Just
So
guaranteed.
Black Tiger, tell us about her. And I think you've had this character. This isn't her first comic book, right? Have you done?
No. So this is the first graphic novel for Black Tiger. This is Black Tiger: Legacy of Fury. This was when Rod and I did this. We did this over the course of a number of years. So it's 172 pages. So this one is you get a lot of story. In this graphic novel. And that was the first adventure. I mean, ultimately it was basically 6 issues. The first issue was kind of an issue and a half. It was 32 pages, and the subsequent issues were 25 pages. So it was a story, and it was really the jumping on point and the launching point for the whole Beyond Time universe.
Okay.
And I also wanted to give people a flavor for the Black Tiger, not just for Jin Fong, but for the mantle that goes across different generations. So I'm probably not going to do another book this big anytime soon, but I think it's a good jumping on point for folks, and we will do a catch up. So for those that did not get this, we will make it available. It's going to be a different cover. I just kind of want to honor the folks that picked it up and got kind of the wraparound cover, but you'll still have high quality. You're going to get a great book. You can get this as a catch up, which is Legacy of Fury, and then you can get 80 plus pages of Hidden Dragon, which picks the story back up. Gotcha.
Now, Rod is, how did you hook up with him as far as finding him as an artist? Is that a long story, or?
It's a good story though. I mean, it's just, I found him. It was a different era. It was a different age when I found Rod. I found him on this website called Digital Webbing. This is 17, 18 years ago. So wow. Basically it was the site was just like forums. So if you wanted to reach out to folks, you would get like onto a forum.
Okay.
So that's how I started meeting some folks, and kind of serendipitously, Rod and I ended up being connected, and then we kind of connected via email, and just really have enjoyed working with each other over time. I think we developed kind of a good working rhythm. I think we keep each other pretty honest. Not every idea is a great idea. It's okay.
Yeah. And is he a USA based guy, or
he's in Brazil? He's in Sao Paulo.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's amazing. So Rod and I have known each other for well over 15 years. We have yet to see each other live, face to face. I mean, we get on, whether it's on Zooms or Skypes or whatever, but we haven't been in the same locale yet. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to make that happen. We're actually pre-COVID. I was going to go, my family and I, we were going to go, because I guess they kind of have a Comic-Con in Brazil that's pretty big, and they do it around Christmas time.
Yeah.
So we were thinking of kind of doing a family, trip. We've never been to South America, but all those plans kind of went up in smoke. And it's not the cheapest trip to put together for a family either.
No, not so much.
No.
So on your preview pre-launch campaign, John, all the artwork that I'm scrolling through, is that all Rod's work?
That is all Rod.
Wow.
Rod is doing the pencils and the inks.
Wow, he's really good.
Yeah, and he's just continued to grow as an artist. And I think, one of the things that we've been doing, is, and I've learned just able just to keep him intrigued is just, I've really got to continue to make the stories fun for him to draw.
Okay.
Has
he worked for any major companies? Because he looks like he's worthy of that.
Well, he did do some work for I want to say for Dark Horse.
Okay. Nice.
And he did a lot of work, like concept work, so for video games and animation and things like that. But no, he never worked for the big two.
Okay. Well, I think it looks great. So you've done that big collection, which I think it's on your website, right? If you want to buy that, you can go to your BeyondTimeComics.com. Is that correct?
Right. So we have a digital reader on the website. So folks that want to read the book digitally, it's you can get the books there. You read them. It's on the actual reader. So it's not a PDF download, but it's on the reader. You get to read the books. And then of course, a lot of folks just want to get their paws on the physical book. So that's what we're going to be launching on May 18th. And we're going to really, the first volume, the art is completed. We're just finishing some of the colors, but all the pencils and inks are done. And the scripting is never completely finalized until it's fully finalized, until the book is out.
Wow. Man, you've got a great looking website.
I appreciate that. This has been a work over time, and just trying to have a place that's almost kind of a repository for the different content that we've been putting together. And that's kind of what this website is. So it's like the different, you can't find Hidden Dragon there yet. So I'm not going to start uploading those books until we're moving forward with the campaign. But Legacy of Fury and some of the other books like Magna, they are there.
Yeah, that's sharp, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Do you do a decent business on the digital side?
Digital it's very choppy.
Yeah.
It's like when people will catch wind of it. But honestly, I think it takes more digital marketing dollars than I'm really not spending digital marketing dollars. So
yeah. Honestly, I would recommend. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I would recommend that Global Comics website because you can set it up as a store, and people can, and then it's already on the platform, and you don't have to do a thing. You just maybe tweet it out, and that's it, minimal. So you should look into that possibility.
Okay. Thanks, Herwenberg. No, that's a good thing. There's so many in the chat. Yeah, hey, there's guys. So many. And I appreciate you saying that, Scott, because I really wasn't aware of that. Until you were talking about yours, and you're like, oh, you can read the black and white there? Oh, I didn't know that.
We have a question from Eric in the chat. He says, "Is Trouble Man?"
Unfortunately, no, because that was a work for hire project for me, and I've reached out to my buddy Chuck, but I think he's had to wrestle a little bit with the publisher to see if he's eventually going to be able to do that. But so Trouble Man was my introduction into actually being able to write a book. So I wrote for Motown Machine Works in the mid '90s, and they put out a number of books. They were kind of behind. They were behind the curve. Kind of behind the bubble. Motown decided, hey, let's get into this. There's $1 million books. This thing called Spawn and blah blah blah. It's like the bubble was already bursting at that point. So by the time they started getting their books moving, they thought they were going to move $1 million books, and they did $10,000 and $20,000 and $30,000, and they're like, that's not what we got into this game for. We're out of here.
Yeah, the 90s was really gung ho, like in the early 90s, and by the end of the 90s, it all dried up, and all the distributors were going down in flames.
Oh,
unfortunately.
Man. I can still remember going to a buddy of mine's house in the late 80s, and he had all of these, like, like I always collected books, but like I really just collected to read. So I was never one that was really collecting for as a store of value. And he had so many long boxes of all the variant covers, the foils, untouched, blah, blah, blah. And even sometimes we'll talk about that. We'll joke about that. It's just like, that market was hyperinflated, and people were thinking that, none of us understood why the old books had value. It was the scarcity that made those books valuable, but it's like, we're like, hey, people are going to get, 8 copies of this Spawn issue.
You're right. Yeah, the
and hold on to
speculator
it like
market
it was gold and just watch it appreciate.
Yeah, the speculator market was it was unfortunate, but this look I've seen this before. I've been on shows with you, and this is Magna. But the thing that you really kind of want people to sign up for is the new Black Tiger book. So let me go back to that real quick. So you're launching, you said May 18th?
May 18th. So right now, just kind of doing the road show a little bit, just to let folks know that, we're delivering Magna and we're getting folks ready for Black Tiger. Hopefully we can get off to a fast start with the campaign. There are a number of cool things. I don't know if you know Phoenix Animation.
I don't.
Okay, so he's a guy. So he has a couple of books. So he has his book Galden, and he has another book that he made that's really cool. But the guy he does like metal work. Hold on a quick second. Let me see what I did with. Here we go. Hold on.
While you get set up, I'm gonna go ahead and sign up on it on here for your newsletter.
He made.
Can you post that in the private chat so I can do that as well? I didn't see the link. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, sure.
Perfect.
He made for me, just kind of out of the own goodness of his heart, these metal bookmarks.
Ooh.
And it was just, he took some art. He took like the big dragon.
Ooh,
and he made these amazing metal bookmarks. And I love these things. So I'm like, I don't know exactly how I'm going to integrate it into the campaign. It may be just something that I just give folks. So I'm gonna kind of work with him on the pricing and the numbers. But these things are so cool. They're metal bookmarks. They look amazing. And I was just like, there's so many talented people in the community, and there's so many different things. I feel like I'm learning all the time. I was like, that's a great option. For me, that's a perk that I like, or just something like if I got that, I would use it,
Right.
So,
yeah.
So that's kind of one element, and, kind of talking about, other ways to, kind of integrate that. We'll see what else we can do, but, it's kind of fun because, all of us are kind of learning and growing and just kind of figuring stuff out, as we kind of move along. So to me, reach out. If you're interested, reach out to Phoenix Animation. He's a great dude. I think it's a really cool thing that he's doing, and you never know. You may have yourself like a little additional perk that you want to, add to your campaign, or something that people will find really fun.
Okay. Is he on Twitter or Phoenix?
He is. If you look, I think his handle is actually Phoenix Animation. I should know.
Yeah, those are sweet. I looked into metal prints, maybe for BEARDZZERKER.
Is that right?
I haven't had any done yet, but you just upload the file, and I think there's like a white metal and a black metal. Yours looks more like maybe white. I'm not sure. But,
I'm still kind of ignorant about this.
Those are sweet. So should I go ahead and play your trailer, John? Or
let's play the trailer.
All right. So let me go over here and show it real quick. By the way, isn't Black Tiger the one that you have the live action trailer for on YouTube too?
It is. So back in 2014, we made a 20-minute short film. A buddy of mine who I went to college with, and it was a fun experiment. So we had Robin Shu, who was the original Liu Kang. Right. We had Angela Fong, who was a WWE diva back then, and some other talented folks, and we just had fun. We made a great short. We were able to raise some capital to help us move it along.
Yeah.
And put together a 20-minute short that ended up winning like a Spirit of Comic-Con award.
Yeah, it's
so
very
it was
professional.
fun. No, I
Definitely
appreciate
check it out, guys. In the chat, you can just go to YouTube and look up what would be the type in Black Tiger trailer or.
Yeah, probably Black Tiger trailer or Black Tiger Hunter Hunted.
Okay.
Hunter.
Did you catch the new Mortal Kombat movie, the one that they just came out?
I haven't yet.
No, I haven't either. I want to see it though. I heard it's pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to your preview page on Indiegogo, folks, which we put the link in the chat. So we're gonna go ahead and play his video.
No sound though.
Oh, did I not share the sound?
I don't think so.
Nope. Oh, sorry guys, I boomered it up again. let me go back. I actually closed the window, so I'll have to look up Black Tiger on Indiegogo while you bear with me.
I appreciate you kind of managing this, because that's exactly what I would have done, except for it would have all fallen to shreds.
It's never a coffee and comic show without Don making some technical glitch like that.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
My oldest son has so much fun. He's just like, Dad, you are just like a troglodyte, Dad. You can't. I'm like, look, I became my mom.
Now that better?
Sir.
Can you hear it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think I've seen this yet. Very cool. Good job, buddy.
My buddy Scott Thrill, he's the one that made the beats, and he's amazing.
So what ages is this book for, John?
There's violence in this book, so it's probably tween.
Yeah.
Higher. This don't give this to your 8-year-old. That person's bleeding all over the page. Okay, yeah, let's not do that.
Is it kind of like a she type of martial arts, without the swords?
I think probably she's probably a little bit more graphic.
Okay.
But the thing is this, the first volume was she graphic. So if you get the first book, I have that first story has elements of like a Hong Kong gangster movie and an American gangster movie. So there's basically kind of like a Scarface, end of Scarface moment that happens in that book, and a lot of people get wasted. Gotcha. So and there's really no way, there was no way to really to hide that.
Gotcha. Well, I'm excited, man. How did your previous Black Tigers do? Have you done crowdfunding on her before, or?
So actually, when I first crowdfunded Black Tiger, first initially through Kickstarter, and then that's how I got introduced actually into kind of the whole community here. I reached out to John Malin, and he had me on, and then kind of helped a lot just with the way the campaign was structured. It's like, these are probably some things you need to do better to help yourself with the campaign, and just also kind of educating me a little bit also about Indiegogo. And it's just like, hey, you probably have folks that you're not getting now that you can get. So I ended up running a second campaign, and combined the two did about 10,000.
Okay.
So, and that's where I'm at right now with MAGNA. So, I feel blessed. I'm very grateful because at the end of the day, people are spending their money.
Right.
It's I don't take that for granted at all.
Yeah. I can tell.
These are not easy times.
You put out a quality product. I mean, this holds up to anything that's being put out by the big two, if not better to me. So kudos to you. I love martial arts. I'll have to definitely back this when it comes out and have you on when you're live.
Oh yeah.
Are you doing a 30-day initial or 60 or?
Probably going to do the 30 and 30.
Okay.
It's funny. That's kind of the formula. It's not like, I don't know, maybe I should just do 60. I mean, everybody kind of knows. I mean, you do the 30 and 30. I don't really know. I think algorithmically, I think the 30 and 30 is supposed to help you algorithmically. Yeah. In terms of like helping to generate, some stuff kind of at the end of the first 30 and beginning of the second 30, as opposed to just doing 60. So I think there is an algorithm that it makes it worth your while to do that.
Right. Okay. Well, I think you've got a great track record, John. You've delivered product. So I have no reservations about recommending. In fact, I'll probably do an unboxing of your MAGNA when I get it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. I've got a few things I'm going to show people in the, that I got in the mail after we're all done. Is there anything else you want to add in closing, John? I signed up on the pre-launch page. So everybody that hasn't done that yet, please do that for John and also for Scott's flock.
Yes.
Please back that. But yeah, John, tell us anything else that you like from the closing, how to get a hold of you, or what are the things you'd like to say?
You can get a hold of me at Beyond Time Inc. on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube as well. I just appreciate whether it's retweets, sharing, that all matters. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all of us, we're working within a community, and we're just even like today coming on the show, I learned about Scott's project. You'd think by now I would have seen it, but you know what? There's so much good content out there that sometimes we miss things. So shows, retweets, everything, I appreciate all of it.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Well, hey, buds, I know you guys are probably, got other things to do. So I'm going to probably usher you out of the green room. And I really appreciate you guys hanging in there, everybody in the chat. I'm just going to wrap it up and kind of show some goodies in the mail. But thanks for coming on, Scott and John.
Yeah. Thank you for having
us. Appreciate it.
You guys have a great day.
All right.
Too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Peace.
All righty, guys. So that is our two guests today. Definitely cool projects that definitely are worth your support. So anyways, I was going to mention to you guys, I've been having a busy mail week. Not only have I been shipping out X-FARCE, which, we got in maybe a couple weeks ago. We've been fulfilling that. You can still get these. They're in demand on Indiegogo. There's been actually quite a few people that have been doing unboxing videos, including of Herrenberg and X-FARCE. That was on Niall Scala from the Pop XP channel on YouTube in the last week. He opened up like 4 packages, and one of them was our book and one of them was Herrenberg's book. And so definitely check that out. Billy Tucci got his copies in the mail. He just posted a video yesterday. He seemed to really like it. So yeah, you can pick these up. We've got 3 different covers. Rob Willis, and then the Mark Lewis retro cover, and then the Bill Mouse homage. Very low print run on these. We only printed about less than 1,000 of the whole print run. So all these books only have about a 350-ish print run on them. So I think they're going to be good collector's items. But let me get to the mail, guys. I wanted to show this piece. This was something I got on, I think Mike Miller had an auction show maybe like a month ago. And there was this guy named Eric it's not Ninja Kelsky, but it's like Nina Kelsky. And I wasn't familiar with his book until recently when I saw his artwork on, I think he was on Drawn and Quartered, which is a like an hour and a half, 2 hour drawing show where you get a topic and you have to draw live, and then they judge. So Eric was an artist that I wasn't familiar with, and then he was on an auction show and he said, "Oh, I've got this this cool Thundercats piece that I did in pen and ink," and I just thought, "Oh, this is really cool." So I paid Eric for that, and then he delivered this to me in a nice rigid mailer, but it's beautiful. It's got, you know, all the main Thundercats, and he's an inker as well as his own penciler, which is, you know, truly cool. Kind of has that Image Comics feel to it. So Eric, thank you for that. Definitely back his book too. I think it's called Sovereign something. I think he's fulfilling that right now. Okay, so what else did I get? This is really cool. Scott was on my show about a month ago, and I had a whole bunch of new people on it. And Scott was there, and then we had a couple guys named Nathan and Gary from Wisconsin, and they had this book called Vidar on Hans, and it's about like a Viking and a troll and the adventures that they get into. And they're small town defenders, so they're not like your big city heroes. They're more like you know, your small rural community defenders. And it's a really fun book. It's kind of got this indie vibe to it. It's black and white, kind of, you know, ash can sized. The inside covers are color, but it just had this really fun, like what I used to do when I was younger, like maybe in college, I would do stuff like this, just kind of crazy black belt hamsters type of humor. So that was the first issue. And then I think they're still on Kickstarter. They're not on Indiegogo. So if you go and look up Vidar and Hans, this was the book that caught my eye on the Kickstarter campaign. Because, you know, when you see like a 50-foot tall bunny, it definitely grabs your attention. And the name Bunzilla just kind of gave me a chuckle. So Gary and Nathan were on my show like a month ago, and I backed their campaign. And just in the last week, they sent me this really cool comic book, 2 comic books. And this is the second issue, which I haven't read yet, but I could tell that they really, you know, their art styles are getting better and better. It almost has kind of a woodcut feel to their artwork, a pen and ink, kind of an underground style to it, which I think, you know, I like that organic style, the not, you know, absolutely slick, perfect style that you might see like from a Marvel or DC. This has more of a hand-drawn, cool, funky vibe to it, a little abstract. But the thing that I really, really, really wanted to show you was this. Is that this came in a big flat with the comic books, but this is like a silk screened poster. And I think the tier was only like $30 for the ash can, the 2 comics. And I don't know if they still have this print, but this is like really, really pretty. I think it's suitable for framing. And it's got, they didn't sign it, which I wish they would have signed it, but that's okay. It definitely feels like a silk screen type of print, but you can see the really cool orange smoky colors in there. They're called Deep Well Studios, and a couple of young guys. And so I hope they will do more of these, but definitely check it out. If you like this print, you know, they might still have some more of those available. And they shipped it in a, you know, kind of a little protective cardstock thing with a personalized thank you. And then I think when they hit a certain stretch goal, they were going to include this cool round color sticker of Vidar on Hans. So Nathan and Gary, congratulations on fulfilling your campaign. That was a lot of fun to have you guys on with Scott. All right, and so the other thing I want to show you before we close out today is I got a nice Gemini mailer in the mail just I think like 2 days ago, and it's from Astonishing Comics. And if you don't know who Astonishing Comics is, that is Andy Smith's imprint. Andy has been a veteran, I think, since the 90s as well. Worked on Marvel and DC stuff. So he's got his own project called First Man, which I said, Andy, will you trade me X-FARCE for First Man? And he said, sure. And I was on his show like a week ago with him and his friend Dennis. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what he sent me. Oh man, this is nice and thick. So you can still get this in demand. It just was printed, I think, in the last few weeks. And Andy says, I will ship it out the very next day. So if you get this, back this campaign, at any level, he's got the book already done. He's kind of like us in X-FARCE, we did the campaign and now we're actually fulfilling. So kind of a 90s, hero style, really cool, larger than life heroes and villains, but it's nice and square bound here on the side. Not sure how many pages it is. It says it's version 1.2 and he signed it. I'll take it out of the nice little wrapper here. Yeah, so super slick, like a UV coated glossy cover, cardstock. He signed it. Thanks, Andy. So I'm going to definitely read this. Oh, it's very well done. I mean, you can just tell. I don't want to spoil too much, but he's a pro. Andy's got all the nice panels and coloring and nice paper stock. Yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. He kind of has a Bart Sears feel to it. If you remember, Bart Sears was like a Valiant artist. I think they're actually close friends. Andy went to the Kubert School, so he's professionally trained. But yeah, this has, if you like the old Image comic styles with like the huge full panel of artwork and stuff, this is definitely what you want to get, is First Man. And just the whole packaging of this is really good. This is a $25 cover price graphic novel. So thank you, Andy. And he gave me a couple cool perks too, which if I can find the bag that I just put it down in. Oh, here we go. So if you back the campaign, you will also get, the stretch goals. So he's got a cool square magnet of First Man and the female hero in the book. And then you've got some cool double-sided bookmarks. This is Penumbra. I think she's the villainess in this. And then trading card. Wow, super thick. It's like Eric McIntyre said, you can make throwing stars out of the metal bookmarks that John had. This is like a cardstock throwing stars. You could hurt somebody with this. Very nice. It's all, UV coated, glossy, extra thick trading card. He gave us a cool andysmithart.com business card, double-sided. It's got Marvel on one side and then DC on the other. And then there's a couple of his other characters, Ultra and Jungle Lords. So Andy, hopefully you watch this on the replay, buddy. Thank you for sharing your talent with us today. Yeah, I think, let me see the comments here. Hey, we've got Alejandro here. We've got Critical Blast. Why are the Masters of the Universe on a thing? That's right. Is that a combination of a Masters of the Universe on a Thundercat? I don't know. All I know is I thought it was Thundercats, RJ. I actually didn't grow up watching the Thundercats. But good morning to you, my friend. We had Herrenberg on before, and he said, yeah, you can watch the unboxing of both of our books. Thank you for recommending that you guys hit the like button and subscribing. I hear my dogs barking upstairs, so I think I need to go tend to their needs. But you guys know that, know my spiel. We have X-FARCE out. Beardzerker is currently funding. We are, let's see, we are at about almost 60% funded on Beardzerker. So definitely check that out. We still have over like 40 days left in the campaign. So I appreciate everybody's support on that. Alejandro, I think you've got a new channel, right? Yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern time, folks. So if you're around and you want to catch Alejandro, just go to YouTube or his Twitter, and I'm sure he'll have a link there. I think you've got do you have like Anthony Figueroa on your show today, Alejandro? I don't know. I can't remember who your guest was, but Alejandro has Columns of Creation that's currently on Indiegogo, which is a great looking book. We've had him on a couple times. Oh, I'm sorry. And Nefarious is here. Hey, Nefarious. Thank you, my friend. Hopefully you got your books, your X-FARCE books. Alejandro, I know I shipped yours out international mail in the last weekend. So it's probably going to, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I know I packed it. So, and my wife says, pretty sure the dogs are calling my name, which is her polite way of saying I need to wrap up the stream and take the dogs out to go take a pee. But I'm classing it up. I know, just going to be real with you. Everyone that has dogs know that they're like family. So they're waking up. We have 3 now. We have three Japanese chins. But anyways, you guys, I hope you had a great time. Nefarious, thank you. I'm glad you got it. And he's going to do an unboxing video as well. Definitely send me a link, Nefarious, on Twitter, and I'll definitely retweet that out. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for your time. Have a great day. What's going on tonight? Actually, tonight I'm going to be on Keith Gleason's Indie Comics Relay with what would you call it? The distinguished Bill Mouse. And we're going to be talking Beardzerker tonight. That's at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern. So go to YouTube and Indie Comics Relay. And Keith is actually our letterer on Beardzerker. So we're going to have lots of fun talking about that with his co-host, Johnny C. So anyways, thank you guys again. Keep smiling. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
I'm warning you.
Next time it's gonna be glass.